the thing about Undertaker at this point is Undertaker, the streak is over. So we know that that's gone. Yeah. He's had a couple of sort of like, he's done Shane McMahon the year before, which hasn't been that bad. Undertaker was always very much, the streak shouldn't have ended with Lesnar. Lesnar didn't need it. Yeah. He was always like, it should have ended with Reigns. And they could have made that big star. Yeah. Now they're both stuck here. Undertaker doesn't have the streak. He's clearly coming to the end of things. And Roman Reigns is a big star and doesn't really need the Undertaker. And what you end up with is they sort of go, let's do a big thing about yards, about who is. Michael Cole says, could tonight mark the changing of the big dog? Right. The changing of the big dog is not a thing.
It doesn't put the word reverence in my mind.
They have a big thing about like them going, we've always known it's the Undertaker's yard, but now the big dog has come along.
He's an Undertaker. He's a biker. Now he's a dog. It's just come on, guys. Sort it out.
Dog Undertaker. And they've got Roman Reigns, and he is saying he's the leader of an empire of dogs. Yes. Dog empire. You keep it, mate. Keep your dog empire. He comes in and he says, no, I'm the big dog, and therefore this is my yard. So they're now fighting over a yard. Yeah. Not an impressive thing to fight over. So, like when neighbours have fences that are 6 inches. Yeah. They both go bankrupt, taking each other through court again and again and again. Just, there are bigger things. And really one of the things they should have done is they should have built up legacy more. And they always seem to have done that throughout the whole of Undertaker's career. All about what legacy he leaves and who will be the last man standing. And the one match they don't do that in is what they thought was his retirement match. Yeah. They go, he's fighting over a yard and being a dog. Doesn't make any sense.
He's gone mad.
They do a really, really good video. There's a strange bit where Undertaker just sort of says, Roman Reigns, I'm going to bury you not in a usual place in my graveyard. I'm going to put you in an entirely separate pot. What? Why? What are you doing?
Is it a yard? He's talking about his yard again.
It's where the dogs do their business. Is it? But I'm the big dog. Why am I going to poo on my own grave? What are you talking about? You got mad?
Hello, I'm Pete from WrestleMania.
Hello, I'm Mark from WrestleMania.
That was a nice salute. We can be found over on our Patreon, patreon.com/WrestleMe. You get weekly podcasts, a monthly fantastic newsletter that's absolutely gigantic. It's ginormous. You get weekly podcasts advert-free, and you also get these videos advert-free. It's patreon.com/WrestleMe.
We've done loads of stuff there, so go and look at it. There's loads. In working this match, Undertaker became the oldest WrestleMania main eventer of all time. Right. He broke a 1-year record, which had been set by Triple H. Triple H had been 46 the year before when he lost to Roman Reigns. This year, Undertaker, I believe I didn't write it down. Didn't think that bit was important. I think he was 82.
I believe he was 82. He certainly moved that way. Anyway.
Yeah. He'd been in the Royal Rumble in January, but the previous match he'd had to this was at last year's WrestleMania against Shane McMahon. So he came in... I mean, we end up seeing what happens. Yeah. It's a pitifully bad match that he cannot do. One of the things he asked for was Jim Ross. He wanted Jim Ross to commentate his last match. Again, it is an amazing diss to Michael Cole that you sort of go, you do
not
all
you.
of this. Not you. Undertaker comes back and he's like, I've just got so much to think about. Obviously, so much pressure. By the way, I don't want Michael Cole. And it's just that thing about going, mate, you come back once a year. I am here. I do 5 of these shows a week. And he's like, yeah, but not you.
Yeah, I'll have a chocobo in my ring, but I will not have a Michael Cole.
Out he comes wearing his yearly new thing. He's got a rubbery coat. Yes. I don't know if you remember, then they released The Living Dead like on DVD for the first time. Right. There was a special edition. It had a sort of rubber skin on it. Yeah. Right, okay. And it looks exactly like the Undertaker's coat.
Well, actually, earlier on, Y2J's got a leather scarf sort of thing.
Yes, with
disgusting. Disgusting.
Anything that Jericho wears now, even when he's looking good and trim, you just go, I can see Slug Jericho of now. Yeah. And I look at the clothes and I go, disgusting.
Hey, look, we're sat on gaming chairs at the moment. It looks like he's sliced up a gaming chair to make a scarf.
It does. I looked at it and I was like, oh, it's got cheap LEDs in. And actually, when I saw it from a wider point of view, I was like, they're good LEDs, big. Unusual.
Chunky LEDs.
Yeah, and they don't waver. It's a good colour. They go on and off, and there's no in between. Very good. This horrible rubber suit. I mean, it is fucking. It looks disgusting. It looks like it stinks, and it looks like it'd be.
It's like Lordy. Remember that band Lordy?
Very much. The sort of thing that like you touch it and you'd think it was going to be like rubbery, but it would be sticky. But how do you get fucking sticky?
Yes. Like if you put a boggler in a microwave.
Exactly.
5 minutes.
An old boglin.
An old boglin.
You've picked up a boglin and you've just gone, oh, what the fuck's wrong? You know,
it starts to kind of revert to the oil it was dug out
and
of.
a great way to do that is if you want to get that is to get like a Bluetooth speaker that's got a rubbery back.
Yes, put it in the bathroom.
Or just clean it. Just clean it with a little bit of glass cleaner, which I did. I thought, oh, this is really mucky. I just put it over the back and it was immediately sticky. And it's not stopped being sticky for over a year.
Crazy, huh?
How does that happen? Go back to how you were. I just put some glass fucking cleaner on you.
Say sorry to it and it'll be fine.
I'll never apologise to that sticky little shit. The other thing I didn't like about this coat is it's got all this sort of veining through it.
Yeah.
And it looks like a black mamba dildo. It's got that sort of like, anytime you see it, you're like, it's horrible. And it's the sort of thing that if you were a pervert, you'd have a coat like that. And you'd go, you know, what you don't know is I'm a rich pervert. And I had this actually modelled on my glands. You know, it's all veiny and nasty.
Yeah. It's like a bloke getting interviewed as the Central European king of pornography on Eurotrash. Yes. Yeah, I'm the king of porno.
Yeah. This is made from 6,000 horse scrota. You know? So I don't think scrota is the plural of scrotum. The problem that we have with this match right from the start, and this is actually sort of comes down to the booking of the entire year that's just gone. The crowd do not like Roman Reigns, but they're also aware that they don't think The Undertaker can win.
Yes.
So what is the point in throwing yourself behind The Undertaker when you sort of go, it's inevitable that Roman Reigns is going to win this?
Yeah.
It's a really odd thing where the crowd are totally unsure how to react. They're sort of like, I'm not going to waste my time.
No holds barred.
Working it out.
I mean, there will be some. And
yeah. The no holds barred thing as well is also with The Undertaker, you're always saying no holds barred because you go, well, we can have some exciting bits that we can cover some of the fact that he's not very good just in the ring anymore. A simple wrestling match is beyond him. Within moments, you can see that he's just got too old. That he's on the wrong side of that divide. I found in this, oddly, I just watched a documentary about Black Sabbath and Ozzy Osbourne, and I found The Undertaker strangely like Ozzy Osbourne, where he was quite heavy movements. Ozzy Osbourne was talking about having a syndrome similar to multiple sclerosis, which was undiagnosed for years. And what you have with Undertaker is he has a sort of juddering walk where he's sort of stooped over. And there's a sense of age has caught him, and he's still pretending it hasn't.
Because he gets a hip replacement after this match, doesn't he? And
he does,
and he's
yeah.
Like, oh, fuck, I wish I'd done that before.
Yeah, but there seems to be more to it than that. His timing is just off. It isn't a case of you go, yes, he's having a real problem with his hip. He is flat-footed in this. It's almost like you knew you were in the main event of Wrestlemania and you didn't go, how can we work around my limitations?
Yeah.
You just went, I'll bring it on the day.
I'll bring it,
I'll bring it on the day. Even when Roman Reigns gets a chair and he's just beating The Undertaker on the floor, there is still nothing from the crowd. They should hate Roman Reigns if that's the way they're going. That Roman Reigns is defeating, he's beating up The Undertaker. They should be getting behind The Undertaker and they should be booing Roman Reigns. And in fact, what they're doing is they're going, well, Undertaker, this is what you get. And they're going Roman Reigns. They're sort of going, I'm not going to be the one to stop you. It's such a strange reaction. The end is Roman Reigns. I mean, it's just even the fucking last bit is bad, where Reigns comes off the ropes and once, twice, and Undertaker thinks he's about to hit the spear, and Roman Reigns does it a third time, and Undertaker sort of wobbles a bit, and he has to turn, and then he gets hit with the spear, and it just looks like for a moment he didn't really know what was going on, and that's the last thing that you get. Reigns looks really unhappy coming out of this match. He just looks...
he looks absolutely gutted, inconsolable.
Slightly shaking his head as he comes out, and I think there's that funny thing of, he would have been aware the Undertaker would have done his best, but I think, you are an athlete, and you are like, that is not good for me. I think it's a hard thing when you're at that level of being a solo athlete. When you're put in that position, you can't just go, geez, I bet poor Mark is in a terrible way, but gosh, we tried. You look at that and you just go, I look a prick out there. I think it's impossible not to. Undertaker, he was incredibly hard about this performance in retrospect. He said he was disgusted watching it back, and he told ESPN he had no business being in the ring that night. He also talked about how disappointed he obviously was for Roman Reigns, that he had taken this main event and let that guy down. He said, I wanted to do the very best I could for Roman. I think the world of him. I could have mailed it in. I could have protected myself. Only done a couple of the things that I knew that I could do. But that's not the way I work. It wouldn't have been fair to him. So I tried that night to do the best I could. But the harder I tried and the more I did, it was not a good night. It was really disappointing.
I feel bad for Roman. You dream about that match, to be in that match. and tearing the house down, and I wasn't able to give him that. And that bothers me. I can make excuses all day long. It's like I don't even know where I'm supposed to be.
What's interesting about this is Roman Reigns has never actually said, oh, he tried his hardest, he did really well. He has talked about other bits and bobs. So he actually said that when Vince McMahon came to him and said, we want you to have the main event with Undertaker at WrestleMania 33.
Is he going to try and tombstone me twice and then I'm going to try and do it and then fuck up, but I'll have another go and look stupid.
He said, it's something that everybody who gets into this business wants, to get into the ring with the Undertaker. I remember the first thing I thought was that I wanted to put him over. I wanted to lose. That was my intent. He said, out of respect, I knew he was in pain, but I didn't know he was going in for hip surgery soon after that, or else I would have crafted the story a little differently. I knew it was on me to help to try carry it. I thought it would have been a better story if I was on my back at the end, but obviously it didn't go that way. There is a part of me that goes, why not? The Undertaker was bad at this, but do you know what? It's his last match, we thought. And at the end, that ending would have been okay. Yeah. Because having him lose, it didn't leave people on a great moment. It didn't make you think Roman Reigns was the best in the world. It was just a bit sad. And that's a horrible thing to have at the end of a long WrestleMania. A sad moment. It wasn't sad because he retired and he put his hat and gloves in the ring. That, if anything, is the bit that saved this WrestleMania ending. That you had a bit where he was getting his final hurrah in front of this crowd and they knew that that was the end. So you can go, do you know what? It wasn't good, but I saw that historic moment. And I saw one of the great careers in professional wrestling. I saw it end and I saw him walk away, and that was a historic moment. He had another 9 matches over the next 3 years. 2 of them went nearly 30 minutes long. Both of those involved Triple H.
I don't even want to hear what happened in those.
The Super Showdown in Australia, he took on Triple H, and I think he lost that one. And then Kane and Undertaker took on Shawn Michaels and Triple H.
It's just not what you want.
In Saudi Arabia. I mean, those were the Saudi Arabian match and then the match with Goldberg were worse matches than this.
Yeah.
And as you may know from the Last Ride documentary, what he was talking about constantly is, I can't go out on this. I cannot go out.
So he's just waiting and waiting to find something.
He continually had extra matches, hoping, well, if this one's good, I can be happy. And it just got further and further and further away. Those matches that he had after this were catastrophically bad. And he was further and further and further away from getting the thing he wanted.
Broken promise.
Oh, it's so awful. There is something just so cruel about aging sportsmen, about people who are still big and the crowd still want to see, and they just can't do it. And they've always been able to do it, but now, just because of the way things are, their body cannot do what their mind is telling them to do, the thing that they've done all those years. And I really do feel for Undertaker in that. I think it's just one of those things of, he could not go out being shit. He was very lucky that COVID came along. Because he does get in 2020 to have a match that is entirely different from anything that's gone before, protects him and enables him to actually go, I can put this behind me. But if this had been his last match, it's hard to say whether or not it would have been better than him going on for that year. What that year of terrible, terrible shit did, though, was it gave a brilliant narrative to the Last Ride documentary, which then, when he did have his final match, had built up to a perfect crescendo of everyone going, God, he's good. God, he's struggling. God, I hope it works. And it finally worked. And in a weird way, that is the perfect end to a pro wrestling career.
He'll be back. He'll be back. He'll do
I,
something.
for one, can't wait. I hope he wears that wonderful dick coat. We'll be seeing him again, don't you, Phil?
No doubt.